Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, Giants fan? Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. I'm Mike, that's Jules, that's John. We are back for another good week. Guys, how was your week, man? I know I had a great week. I got hammered on Friday night for a little bit. Quick story. And if you ever want to just like see what you did last night, if you don't really remember. So like I went out for like, quick couple drinks, whatever, at the bar, with this chick or whatever. She's like she's a nurse, so she works overnight shifts. So she drove to the bar. She wasn't drinking, obviously, because she had to go to work. So I got like nice and ready. But I got home. I was home, pretty early. I was home by like, 10:30, 11 o'clock. So I'm like, I'm not gonna stop now. Like I'm just gonna keep going. So I went pretty hard. Like I'm just watching TV. I don't know whatever happened, whatever. But if you forget and you're on the computer, if you just want to look on your phone, do yourself a favor. Look for your like Google search history because man, I had some shit. I was looking up how to like learn kung fu in New York. I went down like such like a rabbit hole with these fucking crazy ass searches, like where Mr. Miyagi come from. I totally misspelled his name in the search. Just look up your search history if you ever have like a drunken night, and you'd be surprised what dumb shit you come up with. I don't know, guys. What was your week, man? Did you do anything stupid like I did?
I'll tell you the truth. That like if I get that blackout drunk, I check my call history and my messages more so than anything else with like fear. Like I open up the phone to the message, I'm like, oh, okay, that's not so bad, not so bad, not so bad.
I remember those days. Damn.
I'm just saying, like that would be any of my concern.
Yeah, I gotta start drinking again. I remember how fun this used to be.
It's a lot of fun, John. You gotta definitely do that because I got a kung fu class next Thursday. So man, things are working out, man.
Yeah, Big Blue Kung Fu.
We just found the title.
Yeah, that's it. 3 minutes in, baby. That's how we work.
I'm writing that in the group text right now.
Yeah, we're it's been a good week, man. Fucking air conditioning business is booming with this weather. We got the renovations going. Got one bathroom down, one to go. So shit's been pretty good on my side, man. Just getting ready for the fucking Giant season, enjoying the 7 weeks that we have in between the dead season and the NFL. We got some news on that front, I believe, right, Mike?
I think so. Jules, what topics we got to discuss, man? Is that going to be one of them?
Well, definitely. I mean, there's always news surrounding the Giants for whatever reason. Like I mentioned last week and weeks prior, the Giants seem to be in every fucking writer, hater, fucking sports announcer's mouth, no matter what. And we're only in fucking June, right? But yeah, no, listen, man, we're going to get into a little Eli Manning, a little Saquon Barkley, a little Kenny Galladay, and then a little bit of something we're going to call, and we're going to save that big title for later, but about how we feel that the Giants maybe should go into as far as attitude-wise for this 2021 season. But I think to start things off, man, one cool thing, listen, happy belated Father's Day. It was Father's Day out there. And, there was a lot of people celebrating this past Sunday, so we had that just went on. And, as we get ready to get into Eli Manning, I thought that was, somewhat funny. Definitely an Eli sort of humor type of thing that went on this Sunday where I believe he was being interviewed with Sean O'Hara, where he basically said, he went out of this whole thing. And he's like, yeah, what Tom Brady doesn't like. He's like, he starts whining about how he can't beat the Giants. He can't beat the Giants. So if you haven't seen that clip, go watch it. It's a quick one. They'll get into that. They'll bring up some of the stuff about how, which I almost forgot, how like Giselle went on that whole little tyrant and rant about how, he can't catch the ball and run it. And all that kind of nonsense. Yeah. So that all kind of like tied into that shit, which was pretty fucking funny. I don't know if you guys caught that or not.
That was great, man. I missed it. But I remember Wes Welker being that guy, right? That went out and he fucking dropped that ball.
Yeah.
Oh, love that, man. Meanwhile, that guy caught everything for like 10 straight years. Fantastic.
Yeah. And of all people, Giselle, who never played a sport in her life, I don't think, maybe outside of volleyball or something. She's going to be the one that's like, yo, you can't catch it through everything. It was a quick
she was sticking up for a man, though.
Well, that's fair. That is fair. You know, you gotta give credit where credit's due, right?
Damn right.
It's team games with this life.
You know, it's kind of funny that literally, you know, that was kind of a Father's Day interview that had taken place with Eli Manning and everything else. And then all of a sudden, it was like literally 24 hours later, we get the announcement that Eli Manning is now joining the organization again. You know, I don't remember what the official title is, guys. You guys know yeah. Real quick round of applause there. We got our boy back. All right. You know,
Eli Manning.
He's back.
like, that dude is giant through and through. There ain't no doubt about it. You know, so to see him working in the organization, I don't care what he's doing. It's just cool to have him on, you know, part of it.
It's funny, like I read a title, like I think these fucking dumb media people, they put like Eli Manning coming back to the Giants. So people just like automatically assume he's gonna come back in quarterback. You know, I'm like stop these fucking clickbait maniacs. I'm like, the first time I heard that, I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, he's coming back. I'm like clicking on it, like what is he gonna be, a backup? And then of course they got me. They fucking got me, man.
I heard he's going to play tight end.
Yeah,
right. That's exciting, man. Man.
Oh yeah, he got it. Hey man,
I
Sorry about that.
Yo,
Jeez Louise.
listen, we get choked up about Eli Manning here.
I can't help it, man. It's 16 years, half my life, just worshiping this guy. But it's exciting to have him back, man. Just his personality, obviously, you know, during his playing career was very, very quiet and reserved. But as he got older and now since he's been retired, a lot more of his personality has kind of come out. And even though Jules completely butchered the joke that he said about Tom Brady,
I was hoping someone was going. I was like, yo, throw me a life preserver, man. Come and rescue me. I don't know how it goes exactly.
I think that the joke went like this. He goes, "What's Tom Brady's favorite wine?"
Oh, that's
and
it.
The answer is, "I can't beat the Giants." So that's what he said, which is fucking hysterical. But like his personality in that kind of form, now he's going to be more engaged with fans and this and this and that. So it's just cool. You're going to be able to see him. Like you go to a Giants game, and you might see him in the stands or up in the press box, something like that, just kind of hanging out, watching his protege, Daniel Jones, you know, collecting his own couple of Lombardis. But it's cool to have him back, man. Eli's the man. He's maybe one of the most underappreciated like stars in, you know, maybe the last 15 years in sports, in American sports, for how big he was when big counted. You know, like Chris Canny always says, being at your best when your best is required. There is no single person on earth that has been that guy to the level that Eli Manning has, where in 2011, he carried the team, 30th ranked defense, 31st ranked rushing attack. It was him, Cruz, and Nix, that Hakeem Nicks, that carried that team to fucking a Super Bowl and a Lombardi. So it's going to be cool to just see him back, man. Just get to appreciate just having him around. You know, Carl Banks is around. You don't really see Lawrence Taylor, but you got guys like that, you know, that the team's royalty. That's awesome. And I don't really, I like staying home watching the games. I feel like I'm going to make it a point to try to go to this Atlanta game.
Yeah, that's a big fucking game, man. But like also Eli's doing like the fan engagement shit, right? With the front office, I guess he's responsible for that. So that's gonna maybe he'll do some like meets and greets, and he'll be out there, you know, in the streets getting people, you know, together to go meet him or whatever. But I guess we'll see. We'll find out what the job entails, you know, in the future.
You know, it's funny, John, what you were saying earlier too about how, like, you know, Eli Manning and being this you know, renowned type of player and what he brought to the not only the organization but to the New York, you know, in a weird kind of way, he sort of reminded me of like Derek Jeter, right? If you look at Derek Jeter's career overall, yes, his Hall of Fame numbers are possible and all this kind of stuff, but he never was the best shortstop in the major leagues, right? He never was the best fucking player. I think he should have won the MVP. He had one year that he was really up for it, and I felt he got robbed, but that's another story for another day and another channel. But you know, but the difference was the similarities lie in that postseason, right, where the intangibles kick in. And these guys did things that were sort of almost out of character, right? Where like they reached these levels and these plays that they made that just no one else could imagine. You know, the throws down, you know, with Tyree and of course, you know, Derek Jeter with the flip and all that kind of nonsense. It's very funny how those things sort of kind of related to one another in a sense of where these guys in the biggest moments stepped up, right? You know what I mean? And that's really what defined Eli Manning's career, in my opinion. And yeah, you're right. Look, September 26th against Atlanta. They meant to do this last season, but they're going to do it now, and they're going to retire the number and everything else. Like, that is going to be a time to go, man. We should work on at least, if we're not able to get tickets, because it'll probably get sold out in like 24 seconds, but maybe go to the stadium tailgate or go meet up somewhere, maybe even do a little Big Blue offensive tailgate party or some shit for that night.
Well, listen,
Yeah, might be worth that.
it's a 1:00 game for me. There's a lot of other games on there, so I might be out. I don't leave the war room with all the other games, and so I don't leave the crowd. I wish they should have done like on a Monday night, like how they usually like do like the Ring of Honors and stuff. But then again, we don't have no fucking Monday night home games,
That's fair.
But,
Yeah. We don't have any primetime home games at all. The closest we got is the 4:15 game, 4:25 game versus the Broncos week 1. I think that's probably the closest we have to.
It's garbage. It's garbage. Yeah. Eli, like,
honestly, I'm fine with it, bro. Let him sleep, man. I think that's gonna be a theme of this episode. Let him fucking sleep. That way, when we wake up and punch their fucking jaw off their face,
that'd be nice.
It'll hurt that much more.
Big Blue Kung Fu style.
That's fucking right, baby. Big Blue Kung Fu.
Yeah, you're right.
No wonder why Mike was fucking Googling that shit at fucking 2 a.m.
Yeah, man. I was definitely off my rocker. But like, Eli deserves a lot of credit, man, because when we were bad, like in 2012 and on, my man didn't whine, he didn't complain. He wasn't like a guy like Rodgers where he would like throw his like teammates under the bus. Oh, I have no wide receiver help, I have no line. Like Eli always took the brunt of the blame and never took, the success. You know what I mean? Like, so yep. God, man, like these people don't come around that often, man. Like, let's just hope Danny Jones is like the 2.0. Yeah.
Bro, he seems like it, dude.
I know, it's weird, right?
It's weird, man. He's somehow, I don't know, maybe it's Peyton's illegitimate child. I don't know, man. But if I was Mr. Jones, Daniel's father, I might be running some DNA tests, bro. The kid's got some Manning blood in him. I don't know. Maybe they're fucking related somehow, just like, generations back. You never know.
Grandma
Bro, they've such like it's so eerie. Like just the mannerisms, the tone, they both have that like kind of like southern like draw, like it's really weird how they're so similar. And
even the media, remember the media was knocking Eli back in the day, in the early days, Sean? Mm-hmm. The same shit. Like
same thing. And then the media grew to appreciate Eli because he was never an asshole to them. He always was professional, did his job. And I don't know about the national media so much, but as far as the local media is concerned, they do their fair share of killing the Giants and basically every single possible move they make. But it's a rare day for any of the local media to say a bad word about Eli Manning at this point. I think they've all come around on him to know that he was truly special. And nationally, I think he would have been more revered and I didn't want him to do this. I'd rather him play the 16 years. If he retired, let's say after year 12, year 13, if he retired then, didn't have as many losses on his record, I think he would have been held at a higher esteem. But it kind of hurt his overall record and interceptions and stuff like that. Where if he retired early, maybe he gets a little more whatchamacallit. But the dude's just a legend, man. He's who any professional athlete. That's who you should be idolizing your game after. Not Odell Beckham, not fucking guys like that, bro. You want to be that guy who could stay in the league and people go out of their way to make sure that you're happy, you're comfortable, and you're the face of what they're looking to do. You don't want to be slapping the team in the face, man. Ask Antonio Brown, ask Le'Veon Bell, ask fucking Odell Beckham, man. You spit in the organization's face, and all those guys, for the most part, all of them they're just cliff notes in history. Do it the fucking right way, and you'll fucking make something of yourself. You make yourself a legend.
Karma's a bitch.
Now, listen, and don't forget, too, I mean, how many players actually would have taken it as easily and gracefully like Eli Manning did when Ben McAdoo benched him and broke his perfect game streak, right?
He cried.
Like, literally start him the following week. Like, how many players would fucking literally bounce back? Could you imagine, like, Aaron Rodgers having this perfect streak of never missing a game, and then all of a sudden they just decide to fucking bench him? That dude would have fucking took the whole season off. That motherfucker would have been playing golf with Phil Mickelson somewhere, been like, yeah, fuck you, dudes. Good luck and great
Wait,
Gino fucking.
I got a question. Do you guys remember? I mean, this is definitely the fucking, smoking the pot here a little bit. But was Ben McAdoo fired the week Eli was benched? He didn't coach another game after Geno Smith, right? McAdoo.
It's so close that I would have to like Google that just to double check.
Because I know Steve Spagnuolo was interim
for like
for a couple weeks.
I think it was for 2 games. I think it was the week after that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's what I'm guessing without having to look it up. But look, we can always Google it. We can always have people call in, send us emails, hit us up on DM on Twitter or Facebook, and let us fucking know if we got that shit wrong. All right.
Google it like when I'm fucking hammered this weekend. I'll let everybody know.
Add it to the list.
I'm kind of curious to see what the actual content of what you're Googling would be, but yeah, I hear you. It'll go from that to like some crazy fucking nonsense in like 2 seconds.
I feel like Mike is very well aware of Google incognito mode.
Yeah.
I'm like erasing history and shit sometimes. You got another phone. Oh man.
But listen, so now another player that's gotten a few different things that he's in the news about is our guy, the one that we all stand behind and love, our man Saquon Barkley, right? But before we get into that, because look, there's a couple of things. Even could you imagine something that had to do with Madden and Madden's new preview of the 2022 season? I think we should take a quick commercial break, and we come back. We're going to tell you all the things that's going on with Saquon.
And we're back. Saquon, what is he getting disrespected in Madden now, Jules? What's up with that, man? You left a clip.
Like the guy, we were talking about like a player to sort of model yourself after, right? Like a guy that just goes out there, gets the job done, knows how to get his team behind him, get the trust in his teammates, because even as a rookie, Saquon Barkley was able to do that with his offensive line and get them to build the trust around him. But just the character guy that does the right thing on and off the field, something that you never hear. You never hear anything about Barkley being in trouble. You don't hear him doing anything stupid in the fucking, in his personal life or anything like that. The guy does the right fucking thing, man. If anything, you hit a dude doing stuff for charity, just like you do Eli Manning, all this great shit. Well, out comes fucking John Madden football, right, for 2022 season, like they always do a year in advance, whatever. And they do this fucking preview. And, of course, the majority of the show, the preview is like, the Chiefs, Tampa Bay, Brady, Pat Mahomes. All right, it's expected. Motherfuckers win the Super Bowl, right? They're throwing touchdowns and they're catching passes. They're just highlighting all this shit. All of a sudden, there's like a close-up highlight of Saquon Barkley running the ball against Dallas and him getting drilled. And he fumbles the fucking ball for a fucking return for a touchdown. Like, are you fucking kidding me of all the guys to pick on? No, first, let's be real here, guys. If you were going to show any fucking giant fumbling against the Cowboys and it getting returned for a touchdown, don't you think it should be Daniel Jones, right? Just saying. Like, if you had to pick one fucking guy, let's pick the guy that's fumbled the most out of anybody fucking from the Giants in the last 2 seasons, right? No, let's pick up fucking Saquon Barkley, who's a class act, stand-up guy. Not that Daniel Jones is not. But, and take advantage of that situation more so. Instead, no, let's fucking pick on Saquon Barkley who's coming back from an ACL injury. I don't know if you guys saw this clip or not, but it's fucking insane. We even have John Madden football fucking coming against us. Like, what the fuck?
John Madden is rolling around in his grave. The disrespect with that fumble, man, it's bullshit.
I think, doesn't Saquon have 1 fumble in his entire career? Like how many hundreds of touches?
And if it was, he was 100% against the Cowboys, and like they kind of replayed that hit.
Yeah, I think it was the first game of his second season he had a fumble, because he had like however many touches his first season, 400 something touches, no fumbles, and then the first game of the second season he had a fumble, and then didn't fumble again the rest of the season. So he has the 1 fumble his entire career. But as a person who gets the new Madden every single year, I can tell you with about 3 decades worth of evidence that the Giants are always disrespected in every possible way that you can be disrespected in a video game, if there is such a thing. Madden takes advantage of that with Giants. It's widely known that the guy who's ultimately responsible for all the ratings for all the different players is an outward Cowboys fan, and he makes players just ridiculously bad on the Giants to the point it's laughable. Like the entire season, Nick Gates was rated at like a 62 overall, which is just it's bananas. He was one of the better centers in the league for the majority of the season, but he was ranked as like the 75th center in the game. Like it's just shit like that, just to almost make the Giants unplayable in the game. So it's no surprise to me that would be the highlight, and I wouldn't be surprised if the next trailer it's Daniel Jones getting a fumble by the fucking Redskins or something like that. I could see that, but again, common theme: let him sleep. It'll hurt that much more when the Giants go fucking 13-4.
And a quick correction there, Mike. You mentioned that John Madden might be rolling around in his grave. I'm pretty sure the guy's alive right now. So
I was gonna say,
quick little stat correction there. I don't know when you go down. Maybe he's rolling around in his backyard. Maybe he's a little senile, doesn't even remember he has a game. We can say shit like that. Like he's like, who are the Giants? Wait, they still play in the Polo Grounds in New York?
All right,
what is that thing called? The fucking Jazzy scooter or something like that? The Jazz something.
Just in case you thought we were gonna let that one slide. I was like, yeah, no. I was like, I don't remember hearing that one. Pat Summerall now.
that just got added to my Google history. So like he's 84 years old. I'm looking it up right now. Holy shit, he's 84. Oh my god.
Man.
He's old, man. 84 is up there, dude. That's like you're old.
I mean, look,
there's no more fucking around it anymore.
It's a good age, like God bless him. And listen, maybe you have at least 20 more or something. Go crazy with it, right?
Wow, I could.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the money. He probably could live to 130 if you really wanted to.
I think you were thinking of Pat Summerall, though, who was the side-by-side commentator with Madden for tons of years.
For the best. Down,
I think even Pat Summerall was like a commentator once on fucking the John Madden video game at one point, too. Like, I think they actually had that, like, in one of the earlier versions of the game and shit, where both of them were on it. So, yeah.
Love that. I love Pat Summerall, John Madden. Calling the Giant game, there was nothing better, man, growing up here.
I mean, when those two were together, that was a pretty, like, legendary pair of announcers, for sure.
Probably the legendary pair.
Yes. I mean, listen, there's a couple up there, but because, listen, you can't knock Howard Cosell if you really want to get, like, legendary status, but their name should be mentioned side by side with him at any time.
Phil Rizzuto, Roy White, Bobby Mercer, they were fucking
sure.
Nobody beats them, Even now, Michael Kay, he's with fucking what's his name?
David Cohn. I love when I hear David Cohn on any Yankee game, bro. Yo, listen, but David Cohn, like I swear to God, that dude, there's no doubt in my fucking mind if he still doesn't do it to this day, that dude just knows how to fucking party. You want to get drunk with somebody? I would be afraid to drink with David Cohn. I would think that dude would drink me under a fucking table in a heartbeat. Like, I'll wake up and he'll still be going. So you finally got up, princess. I'm like, yeah, sorry, dude. We were drinking for like 14 hours. My bad.
Howard Cohn.
Did you guys see the video of Saquon fucking working out today? That they
sir.
Beautiful.
Bro, dude looks healthy, man. He looks healthy. I'll be surprised if he doesn't get his full workload starting week 1. What I'm visioning though is they're going to be running out a couple of new corners in Denver. They're going to have Von Miller coming back from injury. That team's going to need a couple of weeks probably to kind of gel, and I think the Giants are going to come out there and real quick before the first quarter's over, 17-0, 17-3 game, and they're going to be able to put the reins on Barkley, and then they're going to end up blowing him out week 1. I'm just saying, there's no way they're going to keep. There's no Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock are not carving up the Giants secondary. Sorry, just not happening. Right. If they score 14 points, it'll be a lot that fucking game. I'm telling you that right now. So the Giants will be able to put up enough points in the first quarter, where Saquon's going to be a spectator for the most of the game.
I told you I'm betting my house on the Giants week 1. I mean, that's the lock of the year right there. Bet it now. Bet it right fucking now.
Well, I mean, listen, and
guys,
don't forget to bet the Giants to win the NFC East. I mean, the odds are still there. It's a very possible thing. I don't give a shit. It kills me how much. Now, the thing that kills me so much is this. And look, we discussed this in a lot of detail last week, but I'm definitely for them bringing Barkley along slowly. There's no reason to push him out there and give him 25 carries and 10, 4 catches or 5 catches week 1 against Denver. There's absolutely no fucking reason. We have other playmakers. We don't need him to do that. We have, at this point in time, I feel like we have 15 running backs on the depth chart. Like, we don't need to do it. Look, should he be in there in the fourth quarter? Should he get every snap in the fourth quarter if it's a tight game? 100%. You want him in every snap of the first quarter? Fuck yeah, let's get this going. Let's put some points on the board, right? But in the middle of the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, no fucking reason to have him in there. I mean, look, let's take a quick look at the NBA for a half a second, right? And you look at that Nets series against Milwaukee. Kevin Durant played every fucking minute and was on fire, right? I don't know if you guys watched that game or not. Yo, we got down to the fucking, in overtime there. It got down to stretch. The dude was out of gas. He fucking played every minute, man. He was fucking exhausted. He couldn't shoot no more. He was barely hitting the rim. You know what I'm saying? And not saying, and the reason why I bring that up, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen to Barkley, but if we could get him fresh, and we're talking about going to the playoffs, listen, I want this guy running at 110 miles an hour when we're in fucking December and January. You know what I'm saying? And look, if September we use them 70%, that's fucking fine, man. As long as we're in there. Look, in games that are tight and maybe we're down, yeah, he's probably getting extra work. But if we're going to beat Denver like you guys keep thinking we're going to beat Denver and the way you're talking it up, there ain't no fucking reason for him to have that many carries week 1.
Only if we need him. Only if I'm being too optimistic and we need him. If we need him, you play him. That's just what it is. You can't sacrifice games. It's the NFL. There's not enough games to sacrifice your ability to win a game on something like that. So it's football. It's just part of the deal. But I would be floored if he's not ready to go at 100%. Should they need him? For 25, 30 fucking touches if it comes to that. But I can't fathom fucking Denver coming in here cross the country, 1 o'clock game or 4 o'clock game, cross the country. Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater. These are the guys. Tom Brady would almost crack this helmet mid-game. These guys are going to come in versus a better secondary. Week 1, I don't know. I think we got to pump the brakes on that. I think John's going to fucking steamroll him. So we should be good on that front. But Saquon made a little bit of extra headlines too, guys. And really, honestly, it's 2021. This shouldn't even be a fucking story. Honestly,
it's a story only because it's a first,
because it is 2021,
right? Like there hasn't been many, right? So anytime anything starts to, and look, I should take that back for a moment and say that not that there hasn't been many, but there has been many to admit it during their first couple of seasons in the NFL, right? Or for any sport for that matter, right? And yes, this is becoming something that's just more and more, it's out there, it's open, no one cares anymore, and guys, what we're talking about here, of course, is the fact that, and I'm going to probably butcher this name, so John, please say it for me.
Carl Nassib.
Nassib, there it is. Carl Nassib has been all over the news. He announced that he is openly gay, which is totally fine. No one really cares anymore. I mean, look, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, this might have been a completely different subject. Things might have been a lot weirder and stranger for people because things just weren't out there in the open as they are currently. And for whatever reason, people were more ignorant in those days. But the reality is the guy came out, he said he did. And one of the first people to support him, and it just kind of goes to show his character again, is Saquon Barkley. He's out there tweeting about it and, giving him support with a bunch of other NFL players. But, it's just good to see a guy like Saquon. That's what I mean, on and off the field, no matter what. He just steps up and knows how to say things and does the right thing. And is just out there and supportive of people that might, that have to go through something like this, that it is breaking news. Yeah, you know what? It's crazy, John, that this day and age, something like that being announced is still some breaking news, which it shouldn't be, right? It's crazy that would even be something that even gets this much media attention. But unfortunately, it's still new. It's still fresh, at least in the sports world. And it does get that kind of attention.
Jules, it's so stupid. It's social media. Like social media nowadays, people know you're gay. Like they're gonna if you're gonna be out with another gay guy, they're gonna know. Like oh, that dude's gay. Like he's having dinner. Like you know what I mean. So people know nowadays. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know why people make such a big stink about it. Like who gives a shit? Yeah. Like these fucking people. Like I was reading on Twitter today. Like there's people that are on Twitter like, oh my god, if you're a homophobe, please unfollow me now. I'm like, who's a homophobe now? Nobody gives a
Yeah. The people who are homophobes don't use Twitter. I'll tell you that right now.
right. Yeah. And they
They're
say,
like 78 years old and don't even know how to spell Twitter.
You know, and if they do, they got like 4 different fake profiles and shit that they hide behind. You know what I mean?
they're like dying and they're already dead by now. It's like, it's enough. Like, who gives a fuck, man? There's still people. It's crazy how the people today, like, they have their like signs and they pick it, they protest about like gay marriage. Like, who gives a fuck? Like,
Yeah, seriously. That's what I said. I was joking before. I'm like, yo, it's not 1980 no more, dude. Like, that shit is so old. It's like not even funny anymore.
Jules, there's like people know shit. There's like politicians out there that are going to dominatrix and shit, getting their fucking nipples fucking
Jeez.
up on clotheslines. You think people give a fuck anymore about this dumb shit? Like, get the fuck. Like, listen, I don't listen in public. I don't want to see two guys kissing. That's gross to me. But if it's like two gay girls fucking making out in public, hey, I'm all for it. Like, go to fucking town. I'll sit there and I'll hop on the bench. I'll fucking watch for like a half hour. You know?
Half hour. A half hour, he says. Full sitcom. That's fucking
Listen,
great.
I think part of the time it was too that it's like Pride Month, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe the New York City Pride Parade is this coming weekend and all that kind of shit. So like, it all sort of kind of ties into it, and I guess it is sort of a huge step forward in a way to kind of look at things that like now this can come out on social media so sort of easily in a way, and it's accepted and people are so supportive behind it, and it's such a good thing for what that sort of parade and movement was initially representing of the struggles that they definitely did have, again, like I said, 40, 50 years ago, coming out and having to deal with shit like even probably as recently as even 20 years ago, something like that. But you're right, man, like it's so far in the past that it's almost comical to hear that like this is still like a big thing on social media, and oh my god, and this guy's coming out, it's like, who gives a fuck, bro? It is what it is, like,
bro. The craziest part is, man, and I don't want to sound like a dick, but how much of this is a little bit of marketing, branding, trying to capture a market? Because the reality is he's not the first guy to come out and say that he's gay in the NFL, or the first athlete. He's just not the case. That's a bold-faced lie.
John, you said
it is.
His jersey sales, you're right, with the marketing, his jersey sales went through the roof.
Of course, because you're giving people I don't hate that, bro. I'm a fucking career salesman, bro. Genius. I get it. I'm all about fucking grinding and fucking hustling and making money. Like, I understand. But the sell up, the overtop, all right, you're great. He made this. Okay. Honestly, who fucking cares? Like you said, it's a non-topic. Like, he's whatever he's doing is like, if nobody's business, no one sees it, no one cares, no one would have known, no one would have questioned it if he didn't come out and say it. So,
no, but listen, like you said, it's a great way to sort of kind of market the game a little bit more. So, right, to have support from other fans, and right, look, it's definitely going to sell some more extra jerseys. For fuck it, why not? Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Dude, that's what it is. That's what they do. Like, when I took my dog to Petco, they had a whole section for Pride Month. You could dress your dog gay if you want to. If you think your dog is gay, you could just buy him all different fucking kind of rainbow clothes, give him rainbow cookies, have a whole fucking party and shit. It's fucking nuts. Like, but it's just wild, man. But the whole marketing, they're gonna make a lot of money off NASA, man. People going there and like, I was surprised though, because Derek Carr is his quarterback on the Raiders, right? So and Derek Carr's that big religious, kind of nut, big into.
Right, you ain't gonna throw on the ball.
Right. So now
it's not a tight end, right?
Defensive, but yeah.
I was fucking around.
He came out, he said I support him. I can't wait to win a championship with him. It took a lot of courage coming out. I'm like, all right, guy, you're fucking lying, because these religious.
So did they write that for you?
Bro, I don't even think the whole you being religious, like, I feel like that's tempered down in the last 15, 20 years. Like, definitely through the course of our lifetime, like, religious people were super, super against it, and there's still people who are. But I know plenty of religious people who don't give a shit about that at all. You know what I mean? When you start getting into gender fluidity and stuff like that, when you're all those fringe, that you might get some religious people to kind of think they're going to hell or whatever. But other than that, just standard issue, sexuality is not really a thing anymore, even for even for religious people like that.
Listen, truth be told, listen, any of you single guys out there, right? Your best fucking wingman would be a gay dude. They get so much fucking attention from women. It's absolutely insane.
You know
And they're
why?
not gonna even compete with you. Like,
Why?
bro, the best of both worlds, man. Like,
So
yo,
hook it up.
right now, befriend one. No,
Oh, yeah, that's
Hook it up. You have a good gay friend, bro. You're
yo,
good.
gold, man. Like, that'll be the best wingman you'll ever have in your life.
good. I would clean up if there's any gay guys like you want to be my friend. Like, let's
Yo, hit him up on Twitter.
please, like, come on, man, help a guy out.
You know what I just was thinking about? You know, in Borat, when he's going to look at the Hummer and he's like, "Where's this pussy magnet?"
That's true, man. You get one that's a little slightly flamboyant, I guarantee you go to a bar and you will be surrounded by chicks, bro. It'll be fucking incredible for you.
Yeah, I say some fucked up shit sometimes on Twitter, social media, this podcast, but yo, I support you guys, man. It's nothing but fucking love, man. We're all in this fucking world together. I don't give a fuck what you do. The only thing I care about, if you're gay and you're on the Giants, and if you're getting sacks or you're fucking completing touchdowns, getting passes, I don't give a fuck what you do in your personal life. I don't give
Bro,
two shits, man. I love the
I'll
Giants.
fucking download your gay sex tape if you're scoring touchdowns for the Giants. I don't think I'm gonna watch it, but like I'll support you 100%. Whatever you want to do, just fucking win games. Like I'll get you some downloads. Catch you up to Kim K. It's fine.
I'll get your parents finding it and shit.
I got 2 phones and a tablet. I get 3 for 1.
That's great.
But listen, guys, bringing it back to the topics here, one thing to kind of keep in mind, you know, one of the reasons why I am so in the side of saying that we don't need Saquon Barkley to do as much as we do is because of the number one signing free agent wise that we brought in offensively in Kenny Galladay, along with some other weapons that we have on offense. But as usual, no matter what, because he signed with the fucking Giants, it comes with a hell of a lot of criticism, at least a lot of criticism that has been starting to stir up again lately, just because, like we've been mentioning on this show constantly, that fucking nothing but criticism or the Giants' name seems to be in every fucking person's mouth. But before we get into Kenny Galladay and everything else with that, why don't we take another quick commercial break?
We'll be right back with the Giants Big Blue Offensive Podcast. All right, we are back. Kenny Galladay is a huge weapon. We got weapons all over the place. Come on, Jules.
Iron Man status.
Why are people like? Why are these people on our fucking back, man? Why do they care so much about the Giants? Are they scared?
I'm telling you right now, I'm really like, I have something to say for the end of the show. I'm gonna go through fucking a little bit about what I think the model should be fucking for 2021 for the New York Giants. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about Kenny Galladay and quickly mention as well how I said it, I believe last week. I've said it in prior weeks. The media just wants to have the Giants in their fucking mouth, have it on their vocabulary, have it on their Twitter, have it on this, because one thing or the other is going to go one way. That's the way this ship is heading, right? Either it's going to fucking sink like the Titanic, or this thing is going to fucking fly like the best boat ever fucking cruiser you've ever been on in your life, right? Because they're going to fucking shock and they're going to fucking do all these different things, and it doesn't matter here, right? But one of the things that of course has to now come up is our signing of Kenny Galladay, right? And here's the reason why, John, that I don't think Saquon Barkley needs to have 30 touches anymore, you know? Not when you bring in a fucking Kadarius Toney or you go out and sign Kenny Galladay. But here's the fucking knock that I was reading in recent articles over the last week and a half or so. Kenny fucking Galladay, he's, was on the market for an extra couple of days than he should have been. Part of the reason why was because he was fucking training and doing workouts for the fucking Giants over that weekend that everybody seems to fucking have amnesia about and totally fucking forgot, because he did the fucking training for so many days, and then we were freaking the fuck out because we thought he left, but the whole thing was they were just working on a number. So the only reason why he stayed on the market for a couple extra days was the fact that he was fucking training and working out for the Giants and making sure that he passed his fucking physical. However, with all that said, now the Giants are still being sort of knocked for over fucking paying him already. Guy hasn't even fucking walked on the field yet, and there's articles and shit coming out that we overpaid. Meanwhile, if any other fucking team in the NFL paid him the same fucking amount, it would, the greatest fucking signing ever. Oh my God, what a steal. They got Kenny Galladay locked up for the next few years. That's going to be a hell of a fucking thing for that guy. I can't wait to see what he does. But for the fucking Giants, We got to hear all the fucking negative shit on it, bro. When I was reading this shit, it just fucking blew my mind.
They must know our market is just so fucking like aggressive that if they say something like nice, they know they're not going to get much of a reaction. But if they say something fucking disrespectful or fucking negative in some way, you're going to have the people who are loyal to and supportive of the Giants fucking, barking at them. And then you're going to have, the Giants followers, the fake ass fans that are going to fucking be, oh yeah, they're so right. The Giants suck. I can't believe I'm a fan. Those fucking assholes, also having an emotional reaction to it. So that's how they make money. And that's got to be the reason why you don't hear the Jets in people's mouths like that. You forget the Jets are in a fucking league sometimes, bro. Yeah. And they share a stadium with the Giants. You know what I mean? It's just because of the market, the fan base, and the fucking team. And even when we're irrelevant, we're still maybe the most relevant team in the fucking NFL when we're good. But even when we're bad, we're still in the fucking top 7, just as far as being a conversation piece. So, but it'll be fun.
Didn't the Jets get a new quarterback? I forgot all about it. Like, I forgot. You're right, John. I forgot. Like, it's crazy. Like, hear anything. They know
it's like Sammy Scrotum or something
quarterback,
like that.
and his mom was like fucking go crazy on social media. They had to like block her out of social media, and that didn't even fucking get as much attention as some of the other shit that the Giants have been going through. Kadarius Toney not having his right fucking cleat on got way more attention than that shit got. It's ridiculous.
I know, it's fucking rad news. Can you imagine like Daniel Jones' mom coming on Twitter? Like they would have had a field day with that.
Oh my god!
No one even knows that Daniel Jones' mom.
Like as a rookie, we would still be hearing about that shit.
Daniel Jones' mom is like fucking Mrs. Manning, Grandma Manning.
Nanny Manning.
No, but it's crazy though because you take a guy like Bill Belichick, right? Who he knows how to play the media. We know that kind of stuff. So I guess he does kind of have a way of keeping himself out of it at times, or the Patriots in general. But they literally went out and signed Nelson Aguilar to a 2-year, $24 million contract. Wait a minute. Nelson fucking Aguilar is getting $12 million a year, and that's not overpaying for a fucking wide receiver who did absolutely nothing. He was kind of the best thing on Vegas last year, which still wasn't even that fucking good. And he's got Cam Newton throwing to him, who fucking doesn't throw to his receivers anymore. But that shit doesn't even have a fucking peep about it.
It's funny. The media made it sound like New England. Oh, the New England, they're spending money this year for the first time ever. Like that's the spin you put on it. Like fuck you, man. Like I'm fucking people, man.
Bro, they went out and signed 2 top free agent tight ends. Not 1, but fucking 2. Like a Hunter Henry and the fucking other dude from Tennessee. I can't think of his name right this second. But literally, who?
Delaney Walker.
No, not Delaney Walker. No. The starter.
Jonnu Smith.
Thank you. Bro, they literally went out. Who?
I can't believe I fucked that up. I'm like, I wanted to draft him last year, and you fucking got him.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But like the whole thing is they go out and sign Nelson Aguilar to a fucking, $12 million a year contract for a guy that's really never done anything as far as the wide receiver is concerned. Then they go out, they get Jonnu Smith and fucking Hunter Henry, 2 of the top 3 tight end targets to get after drafting 2 tight ends last year. So what the fuck happens to those guys? You wasted a 3rd round pick and a 4th round pick or a 2nd round pick, I forget. And you did that. Now you bring in 2 more. You go sign Nelson Aguilar. And that's been like the biggest thing for the Patriots. They need a fucking receiver. They bring in Nelson Aguilar. But Kenny Galladay, the Giants, arguably the best wide receiver on the free agent market. We get it done. We get him signed. We get him in here. We get him contracted for multiple years. Horrible fucking move by the Giants. What were they thinking? Oh my God, we're gonna throw a little fantasy in there. Kenny Galladay went from being a borderline wide receiver 1 to maybe a wide receiver 2 or 3. And those of you who don't do fantasy, that's just how you rank your starting receivers on your team. A wide receiver 1's a guy that you really have to draft, and over 2, 3 they get drafted much later. But dude, really, his numbers are going down. Like everything just sucks with Kenny Galladay now. He's a Giant. His numbers suck.
Meanwhile, in years past, we couldn't sign anybody, and the media portrayed it like, oh, the Giants, we can't sign anybody. Now we sign everybody, and then all of a sudden they have something to say about that. Like, just stop.
Anything in life, you could always spin it to a negative if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But, bro, if you just the next time you're on the fucking bowl, just Google Kenny Galladay highlights. Just watch like a 5-minute video of this guy fucking playing football and tell me how he's not one of the top 10, top 12 best receivers in the NFL. Just do it. Just watch it. Okay. I know, okay, yeah, there's more to a guy than his highlights. Sure. Just watch these specific highlights. Like you should watch Saquon Barkley's specific highlights to understand why his 13-yard run may not be equal to another running back's 13-yard run and why he's more explosive and blah, blah, blah. Watch Kenny Galladay's. Just you want to get into and watch his film, God bless, go ahead and spend the time. But if you're not convinced after 5 minutes, I don't know really what you know about football. This guy makes ridiculous catches. Matt Stafford is not exactly a pinpoint accurate fucking quarterback. He just has a fucking lethal arm. Right? Throws the ball all over the place, and Kenny Galladay would go up and make ridiculous catches. Daniel Jones fucking throws the ball inside the fucking guy's visors. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm not a fantasy guy, but I don't know how that connection is not going to be fucking deadly.
I'm so glad you said you're not a fantasy guy because I was going to chime in as soon as you finished. I was like, dude, do I know Kenny Galladay? I've had that dude on my team for like multiple seasons now, right? Not only that, I got him on a keeper league where I'm definitely fucking keeping him another year. Like, there's no doubt about it. I don't give a fuck. Fine. I'll make him my wide receiver too. Fuck you. I don't care. Like, what are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like I mentioned before, like if Kenny Galladay got signed anywhere else in the NFL, with the exception of maybe the Jets, because no one likes talking about them, right? it wouldn't even be a question. That would be a true cut wide receiver one, especially on a team that didn't really have one to begin with, and no one would fucking argue a goddamn thing. Now, the only thing that I would say that you could knock, if you had to find 2 knocks on Kenny Galladay, one, he's probably not going to play 16 games. You know what? Anything over 13, 14 is a huge bonus, right? And that's just a reality. And second, look, man, and this is where I'm going to keep kind of like beating the drum on this. And the reason why Saquon no longer has to be that 30 touches a game guy. We got weapons, man. We got fucking weapons. And it's more now of a time to be able to spread that ball around. So you're right. You know what? Kenny Galladay may not get 140 targets this year. He might not get 150 targets. He might be around 120, 130, somewhere in that neighborhood, which I get. It might result in 80, 90 catches. Whoa, okay. But right. You know what I'm saying? Because you got Rudolph, you got Ingram, you got Ross, you got all these other Shepard and all the other guys, Slade and then Barkley and all shit. There's only so many fucking pass attempts per game that you could possibly have.
Right.
Yeah.
So many drives. Yep.
Even if he does only get, let's say, 120 targets, catches, 75, 80, 85 balls if he plays, let's say 13, 14, 15. He plays 17 games. Those numbers are going to be obviously much higher. But even with 75 catches, he's a guy who's going to average 12, 13, 14, 15 yards per catch. So you're probably talking, I have the calculator in front of me, but somewhere around a 1,200-yard season, 1,300-yard season with likely 14, 13, maybe 16 touchdowns. Bro, that's fucking gangster. And that is $18 million well fucking spent for 2021.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, even on the low side of that, right? Just because of, the diversity of being able to spread the ball around, bro, he's still going to be like 70, 75 catches. He's still going to have 1,100, 1,200 yards, and he's still going to have double-digit touchdowns. Let's just put it that way, right? That's it, a dozen, right? Somewhere in that Baker's dozen, whatever you want to call it. He's going to be in that
Baker's dozen, yeah.
But he's going to still be around there. And you can't tell me that the Giants have had a receiver like that in years. So, fucking back off, man. You know what I'm saying? Back the fuck off. And that's why, I've been starting to get this kind of out there, and I want fucking not only us as far as this show is concerned, but I want all Giants fans to start thinking this way, that the media's got our fucking names and team and all that shit in their mouth for a fucking reason. They're stirring up Giants world. They're stirring up the Giants for a fucking reason. And I'm telling you, should I drop my fucking what I think they should fucking put across the fucking locker room as they come running out into the Meadowlands every fucking day? Or should we take a quick commercial break and then I'll come back and fucking drop what I think should be the fucking slogan for the 2021 season.
All right, so go ahead, John.
No, go ahead.
All right, so real quick commercial break. We're gonna get that slogan in about one minute. We'll be right back. And we are back with the slogan of the year. Jules, just go ahead, man. Just say the slogan.
I'm getting the fucking thing done. I'm gonna make fucking t-shirts. I'm gonna fucking patent this shit. Giants versus the fucking world. That's what it is this season for 2021. Everybody wants to keep coming at us. Nobody fucking believes in us. The fucking Vegas got the odds fucked up. Fantasy's fucking players hate on us. Every fucking sports commentator's got nothing but negative fucking shit to fucking put in their media, on their social shit all the fucking time. John Madden's got fucking Saquon Barkley fumbling the fucking ball in a highlight fucking thing. Nothing's going right. They can't do anything good. Daniel Jones has been fucking overpicked. He's underrated. They're overrated. This guy sucks. So fuck them. We got the right kind of fucking thing going on as far as the unity of the team. The right kind of people are there. We got rid of fucking some of the bullshit with some of these other players. And it's Giants versus the fucking NFL and the world. Fuck you guys. If they believe in that type of shit, we don't necessarily have to worry about anything else because that kind of camaraderie is going to fucking win us some games this year.
Bet us.
That's going to win us a Super Bowl. Maybe not this year, but something special going on in East Rutherford, man. I've been saying it since fucking Gettleman got over here. There's just something about what he does. I don't know the culture thing, whatever his MO is, man. I had faith in him from the beginning, man. And now you look at this team and you look at just the guys that are here, the family that they've built. That's the stuff that wins, man. Anytime you ever listen to any athlete in any sport talk about like their championship runs or the successes they have, they always talk about the fucking teammates. They always talk about the team, this and that, and just like the, microphone in your face with, the reporters after the game. But like when they genuinely reflect back on that's what they talk about. It was our camaraderie, our locker room policing. It was the culture. That's what won us games. It wasn't just the talent. And you could just see it being forged in real time. And it didn't start when Joe Judge came here. It started earlier than that. The foundation was being built before he got here. He was getting out the wrong guys, getting in the right guys. And then he got the coach in here to make that fucking those bricks of dynamite ignite. And now that's what we're dealing with a year and a half later. And why there's anybody who's associated with this fucking team should be excited about what's coming in the next, not just this year, but the next several, if not decade plus, with how young this team is, how young this coach is, and what this team can do. I mean, the 2020s could be the Giants' decade. I'm not saying, 50s Yankees, but we could be one of the dominant teams going forward the next decade plus. Everybody's young. Everybody's growing up together from children, 21, 22 years old, 23 years old, entering this team, 24, 25 for some of their free agents. I'm telling you, man, something special going on over here. I can't fucking wait for it.
The culture is back. Giants against the world. And I tell you, I'm gonna leave this episode with a teaser for our next week's episode because I know I kind of want to talk about it. Like, who's gonna have a better impact on this Giant team? Daniel Jones or Joe Judge? Stay tuned to next week's episode to hear that. We're gonna have a big discussion about that, boys.
Definitely. And we'll go into more detail as exactly what we mean by bigger impact and how they both influence this outcome of the team in weeks to come.
And
I'm just going to say, I'm very uncomfortable with this entire topic.
And we're also going to get John out of his comfort zone.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so.
That and more to come next week on the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. You know where to catch us on Twitter, BBOMYG. All right, at podcast. All right, also individually, Mike Trainer, MFT, John at the MYG Slap Parade, Jules at NYC1. We're on Facebook. Don't forget, we have the Big Blue Offensive Podcast as a Facebook group. Go check it out. A lot of things going on there as well as always. All right. But you know what? That does it for another episode. We are out. We will definitely see you next week with that topic that Mike brought up, in addition to some guests that'll be coming on in the next couple of weeks. We'll see you guys later. Stay safe.